Oh, good morning. Hold on, I gotta turn this music. Oh, good morning. Hold on, I gotta turn this music off. All right, I'm back. Hopefully I'm back. Morning. It's a good day. We're awake again. Breathing. Gotta be grateful for the small things, man. I'm grateful for being here for 430 days in a row. Are you using this one? No. All right. I'm a creature of habit, bro. Ah, Get going this morning. This is my first day. My nephew's back to work. You know, I wonder how many people actually look forward to this in the morning. I've been doing this for a few weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. I made a whole dollar. Yeah, if you guys want to throw me some presents and stuff, that's all good too. Ooh, oh, ah. It's funny. It's funny when I watch this. Sometimes I don't use full range of motion. Sometimes we got 9. Good morning, everybody. Nice of you guys to join me. If you're actually joining me, or if you're just scrolling by and happen to see this dude that's just looks like a weirdo in a gym. Ooh. Morning, brother. Ooh. Got some good rants today. Day 430 today. Isn't that weird? Is it weird? 430 days in a row in this place. You know, I don't think of it some kind of record or anything like that. It's for me. It's improved me so much over this time, showing up all this time, especially the days you don't want to come. Oh man, I'll tell you what. There's a lot of those days. You fall in love with this thing and it becomes like therapy. What is that? Join my fan club. I think I got 2 people. There are 2 people that I talked to a few times. I've been on there. I pop into people's lives sometimes, try to say hi. It's weird. I got to tell you, it's weird because I'm just a regular dude, and I'll pop into one of those things, and people are telling me how I inspire them and all that stuff. As a normal guy, it's the strangest thing in the world to do. The strangest thing in the world for people to tell you that you're influencing them. I'm just a regular ass dude, man. So I don't do like a ton of reps here. This is just to get everything moving in the morning. Say shoulder day. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of good action on my page the last couple of weeks. I guess my posts are getting out there a little bit. I got a couple of videos that got like 20,000 views. It's so weird. So weird. I get a lot of positive. I know there's a lot of negative out there. And sometimes I don't scroll down and find all the mean. Sometimes it'll block it out, all the mean stuff. I look for it. I look for it because I love when people say mean stuff. Because I always say positive stuff in return. I mean, why wouldn't I? Because That's a lesson that I've been practicing a lot is controlling myself and understanding that I don't have to take in the hate or the anger when somebody else is throwing it at me. I like to smile through all that stuff because I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for waking up every day. And when you start to think like that, everything gets a little bit easier. You stop thinking about all the big problems in the world and you start focusing on the good things that are in your life. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I know. We all got bad days. We all got shit, right? But it's how you accept it, how you accept the information that makes you good or bad, makes you happy or sad. It's how you react to things. Ooh. Ah. It's a sad face today. I see it. Where's the happy at? That's happy? Morning, my friend. Morning. Ugh. Trevor's first day back at work, man. Trevor's first day back at work. So he's only gonna be here on probably like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So all the rest is up to him. And he's going with one of his friends somewhere else. We'll see. He said he's gonna, but he works 10-hour days. So he does all his hours in like 3 days, 4 days. You need two jobs like that? Well, as long as it don't mess with your gym time, man. As long as it doesn't mess with your gym time. Uh huh. So kind of like a nurse thing, because that's how nurses do, right? They do like a 3 days 1 week, and then the fourth. Yeah. Doing what? Doing the same as you right now? What do you do? No, I'm just saying, does he do the same kind of job for the 3 days, or? Yeah. He actually gets to get up. Would you prefer that? Do you want a labor job? Yeah. I'm not saying you can't be. I'm saying, is that what you want to be? You can be whatever you fucking want to be. You wanted to be a Power Ranger? Well, hey, you're gonna have to fix that diet if you want to be a Power Ranger. I'm just saying. No, you can have Power Rangers. You're watching different Power Rangers than me. They got tacos in yours. I feel like you're making that stuff up in your mind there, bro. That guy got a donut. That guy got a taco. Morning, ladies. Ladies. My bad. I did not mean it that way. I mean, you're getting yoked, man. That's what's happening. I don't know why. That was a guy and his wife. I said, ladies. Oops. You didn't say hi. You didn't give it two fingers. Everybody's looking for your hi. You're part as the gym turns, bro. That couple right there, you guys, they all get to hear about you. They want fingered. Can't get them a finger. uh, what's you working out today? What are you working out today? Legs? Let's trying to get that booty. Boom. Pow. There you go. See, you walk in with a little bit of a frown. I see a smile now. I see it breaking out. We're good. What are you looking for? You're trying to see who's on your machine so you can get mad at them. Hey, dude. I was gonna say, well, it's already the 16th. Everybody quit their New Year's resolutions by now. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm responsible for none of this, but I'll take credit. Ah, ah. Ooh. See, I like exaggerate the movements, trying to get everything working this morning. See that stuff right there? That those little talks. I know you guys got to go through some conversations in the morning, especially if you show up more than once. But the support system in this thing. I love to support people. Somebody's got to do it, right? There's too much misery in this world. No support. You know. Are we good on the sound, guys? You guys, anybody see the sound? Anybody that's normal that'll actually send me a message? I do. I love reading you guys' comments after. It's funny because there's always somebody begging for somebody to pay for their Uber or somebody to pay for their food. These scams on these things are hilarious. Hopefully none of you guys ever fall for that shit. We got shoulders today. Oh, I wanted to say this. You don't understand. It's crazy to make an impact on people, especially in here. There's not a lot of people know. Obviously, they see me talking to this camera every morning, so they know something's up. You know, I had a guy. He's probably like 60 years old, and he came up to me yesterday. He's talked to me a few times, but like a little small talk here and there. But he came up to me yesterday and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, can I get what's your social, your social media stuff?" And I was like, I do that kind of thing. And he came up to me and asked me for it because he said he wanted his son to start watching me. He said his son's going to college. He got a full ride. He's a football player. And he said he wanted him to start watching me. And I was like, that's something like that. It's crazy. What's up, brother? Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll go in the other one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're welcome, man. You know me, man. I got all kinds of different workouts. You're getting big, man. I can see the all definition. I love these young kids that are over here trying to, get that workout in, trying to better their lives. That makes me feel so good, especially younger guys doing this shit. I know there's not a lot of younger guys watching me at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's not a lot of anything watching me at 3 o'clock in the morning. But if you're young and you can find a way to lock in and do this exercise stuff and stay committed and stay consistent in your lifetime, it'll change you. It'll change you because there's something about showing up for yourself. Jake for State Farm. Do you get tired of that shit when people say that? You're the original Jake from State Farm. You know, I'm wearing khakis, skinny jeans. See, me and you need to have a conversation about that. If I was your dad, you would never got there. Sweats with this shit. I'm not a big fan of this fucking tight bottoms. I don't like it. It looks good on you though. Yeah. That's a youngster look. It's not an old man look. Old man, we had just regular ass cuffs at the bottom. We don't have these fucking. I don't know. Hey, I'm an old head. I got old things that I do. But yeah, no, I was talking about that guy, and he had his son come up, or he wants his son to start following me. I've had random people come up to me. I've actually been recognized. I've been recognized from this. I have like across all social medias, I probably got like 9,000, maybe close to 10,000 people, and we know most of those are bots, right? Like everybody on here right now, you probably don't even follow me. You're just showing up and seeing this weird dude with these crazy eyes working out. I always, you know how hard it is to rewatch this or seeing my face, and I have to rewatch these videos all the time. I do all this myself. I don't have any help. Nobody, matter of fact, in my life, nobody even talks about this. Nobody talks about that I do this. Me and my wife, we barely ever talk about it. She'll watch a video now and again. She'll make a comment to me or something about something. I like to smile. I smile when people give me their criticisms and how I'm supposed to do it. And you're supposed to follow that. What do you call it? The algorithm. You're supposed to follow the algorithm. I don't know how to do no algorithm shit. And besides, what the algorithm will do is it'll get me people that aren't necessarily on the same page as me. Especially the young kids. They see this old man working out all the time. They kind of snicker at it. That's where you get those crazy, weird comments, those mean comments. But they're uninformed. I don't get mad at anybody. When you're uninformed or if you don't have a clue about things, it's all right. It's all right. You can bring that stuff to me. I'll smile back. I promise I will. All right, let's get a little bit of shoulder. I'm gonna go super light right now on this set. It's just gonna be trying to just get these old muscles working. So yeah, I go through and watch these videos. And like I said, it's crazy watching yourself get older. It's gonna happen no matter what. You guys gotta do the best you can. I've been battling father time for years now. Oh. But yeah, it's crazy watching some of my videos get like 20,000 views. I got one that's like 30-something thousand views. And I know that's not a big deal for, most people, for the people that I have all those followers, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. It's a big deal to me. It's a big deal to me. I don't need to reach everybody in this world. I just need to reach you. I need to reach that one person that heard my story, or sees that a guy that goes 430 days in a row in the gym. I had a guy the other day ask me, he said, "So 400 days got you the way you are?" I said, No. 52 years got me the way I am. But there's been times where I was focused in my life, but then we all go yo-yo and we go back and forth, and I get 50 pounds. I mean, I lost 50 pounds. What I do as a job is I manage men who do a landscape design and a maintenance company and all that stuff. And so, forgot I was going there. One of my buddies just showed up. He can't see me right now. I love to do the wave across the gym. I know I'm pretty joyous person, so people get that big smile when they see me because I make sure to say hi loud. I want you to understand I'm happy to see you. It's just there's something about it. When I see people happy to see me, it makes me smile, right? So I like it. I like that little bit of that goodness that you can give people. All right. So we gave up our machine for my boy Jake. I love that dude. He has a good story. His family used to own a gym. He got a big family business and everything. People love to tell me about their life stories. I love to listen to people's life stories. It's just, I got to do it in between workouts sometimes. I try to get here early enough because when 4 o'clock happens, that's when like tons of people get here. And those are the people I used to, when I first started a long time ago, those are the people that were here. So I know a bunch of them. And if you've ever been in here and you've been in the sauna with me, I have to talk to get rid of the pain in the sauna because I don't know if you guys have ever sat in there long enough, but you get to about minute 12 and that's when you're like start to overheat and that quit brain shot pops in. That quit brain that tells you, oh, it's uncomfortable. Oh, this is too hot. I don't know. What am I doing? If you slide a little bit in the sauna, you start to burn your ass. But if you're ever in there with me, you're going to get interviewed. Because I love to talk to people and I love to hear their stories. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's a lot of crazy things happening to people, especially people that come to the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've had like a homeless dude. He would come in here. He joined the gym just so he could shower and get ready. He still had a job, but he was sleeping in his truck. And he was talking to me in the sauna one day, and he said he just doesn't have a way to eat his food. He doesn't have a way to cook his food. And I happen to have one of those, portable little, is a Black Rock, or what do they call? You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, it was an expensive one. Somebody had given it to me for Christmas a few years ago, and I don't camp. So I told him, hey man, if you show up here tomorrow, I came and I brought it to him. That thing's worth like $400. And I gave it to him, and I told him, man, just, if you ever get better off in life, just, pay it forward. What's up, my friend? Whew. No, that wasn't me. I thought I stomped right there for a second. All right, all right, all right. What are we gonna do here today? Okay, we got it. We got it. We got the workout set up now. Ugh, all right. It's the first set. Everything under control. Ooh. Uh, uh, Woo. Man. Today's a good day. It's always a good day. It's always a good day. It's Friday. It's Friday. Got a busy weekend. Got some work. Got to meet one of my buddies for breakfast on Saturday morning. That's the thing when you get older. All those people I used to go out with, all my friends that used to go out to the club or whatever, or we go drinking and stuff like that, because I don't do all that stuff anymore. But all those guys, now if they want to hang out with me, they got to meet me for breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning. Ooh, because that's the kind of lifestyle I'm living. If they want to be a part of it, then they have to understand this is who I am now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is for the front delts. Uh, 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 uh. Ah. All right, that was the front delts. No, sir. Sorry, I'm not gonna do no collabs. So now I did the front delts, right? Now I'm gonna do upright rows for my traps. So this is all part of the movements. All right, now side raises. Uh, 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 all right. Now we're gonna do some shrugs on machine. Oh, get all that blood in the muscle. I'll tell you what, my shoulders are already pumped. Oh, come out here in the real world from my little room. Hey, brother, you using this one right here? All right. Can I throw a little extra weight? I'll pull it back off. I'll pull the weight back off. Oh. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Oh. Remember, don't roll your shoulders. If you're one of those people that roll your shoulders, do not do that. It's bad for you. Squeeze, just squeeze. Nice and slow. Squeeze to your ears. Ah, ah. Whew. All right, that's one rotation. Yeah, I do that and I repeat that. If you're a beginner, or even, you know, if you're one of those people that gets sore so much and tired, whatever, just go through this a couple times. Do a moderate weight, do a high reps. Let's get that blood in the muscle, especially when you're old head like me. Get that blood in the muscle. Ooh. You guys ready for a rant? Nah, I don't got no rants. I don't got no rants yet. It's just, you guys got to, it's getting a little weird for me. It's getting weird because, like I'm over a certain amount of followers and stuff, and people that tell me that I inspire them. As a regular dude, you kind of got to let that go sometimes because I got some people that really tell me how I changed their lives. And like I said, it's strange. It's strange. I love it. I love it. And in my real life, when I talk to people, that's how it works. I went golfing with this my one of my wife's friends and her new boyfriend, and he rode with me. And I don't talk about health and fitness all the time when people ask me. And he just spent the whole day with me in the car, just talking and about certain things and blah blah blah. I asked him about his life, and so then she calls me the next day and tells me how I inspired him. He's going to change his life. He's going to start eating healthier, start making better choices. And I never asked him. I never did anything, but somehow, because of the way I carry myself, the way that everybody knows that I've been going to the gym for 400 something days in a row, my diet, whenever I'm around people, when everybody's out around me drinking, doing all their partying and stuff, I just participate. I don't do the drinking and I don't do all the, whatever else stuff they do. But I participate, I have fun. I can still live life and not do the drinking and not eating the junk. But for some reason that inspires people because they're not willing to do that for themselves. And if they could see that somebody's actually willing to do that and they're happy and they're living a good life and stuff, and I'm not miserable because I gave up drinking and gave up sugar and all that stuff, that inspires people to want to be better. They see a path, they see somebody that can actually accomplish it, and it inspires. And I'm just doing this because I needed to improve myself. I'm doing this for me. I 100%. But what I saw is the benefits from it. All the dieting, and I do the sauna, I do the cold plunge, I do fasting, I do all the things, and it's really improved my life. My quality of life. I don't have sore joints. I work out every day, right? And I'm 52 years old. I should have like this hurts and that hurts, and it doesn't. It doesn't. But it's because my diet. I don't have the inflammation. I eat no sugar. As far as processed sugar, I eat a lot of fruit, but I don't eat any sugar. Haven't eaten sugar in I don't know how long. I don't eat fast food at all. Like I don't even allow it to be a part of like, oh, grab a burger or this and that to fill something in. They don't count. All right. All right, let's put a little weight on here. You can see that I don't really show you guys my weights because that's not important. These things are moderate and heavy, or moderately heavy on some of them. But that's for me. That's not for you. You don't need to know what my weight is. You need to see the weight. You need to see how I control the weight. Because everybody else, you got that stupid pride shit and that ego, and you're trying to compete with people. And when you're doing that, you're not helping yourself. You're not benefiting yourself. This is definitely not a competition, except for with yourself. All right, let's get this set in real fast. Ugh. Ooh, that's definitely heavy. And my homies on here, hey, I'm new here. Hey, welcome, welcome. I think everybody's new here, bro. I don't know if there's a lot of returning people. I do appreciate if you do. I hope you guys have a little bit of fun with me in the morning, with my little rants and my little rah-rahs. But it's important. It's important for me to help you guys understand that this isn't so bad, especially the gym. I know if you're intimidated by the gym, come find guys like me in the gym. You know, guys that look like they know what they're doing. We love to help. I know it doesn't. It looks like we're grumpy, and it looks like we're, you know what? Maybe if they have their hoodie up like this, stay away. Stay away. That means that day is all about demons. You know, knocking out demons. And if they're grunting and stuff, they're not intimidating. They're just over there working out hard. They're grunting. The guys that are grunting, the reason why they're that big is because they're putting in all the effort. That's where the grunting's coming from. Somebody keeps inviting me to this thing. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, there's no co-host, and I can't even read the screen. Whew. All right, here we go again. Remember, all right, front raises, boom, boom. See how it's under control? Make sure it's under control right there. Say boom, boom, boom. Feel that burn. Sorry, brother. I'm not gonna do no co-host. Fire. Oh, that's on fire. That was something there. Ooh. Oh. It's fun when I'm actually working out, huh? Whew. See this right here, I can definitely go heavy on. You know, it's like a hold up exercise. Yeah. Get these big traps. Yeah. They really look good in the shirt. That's a lot of work. Shoulders and traps. There's a lot of work to get them. You know, it's a lot of high volume to get this nice little boulder shoulders. I get big guys doing my workout. They have a hard time. It is weird. Usually at this time, and all my old gyms at this time, it would be all the big muscle heads in here trying to avoid, you know. They like open gyms just like me. But in my gym, there's none of that. I am the big guy. But they say if you're the big guy in the gym, you're working out the wrong gym. Nah. So I have this question for you guys. So if you're out there in the world and you watch guys, I guess like me, you know, guys that do stuff that nobody else does. You know, I go to the gym for 430 days. I don't eat processed sugars. My diet is almost perfect, like perfect. Occasionally, like very rarely, there's this lady that makes these chocolate chip cookies. They're like sourdough chocolate chip cookies. If I had access to those all the time, I'd be the size of a mountain. It's the most delicious cookie I've ever had. So if she's around, if it's like family parties and stuff, and those cookies are there, I get one. I eat one. But because I have a reputation of the guy that's fucking locked in and doesn't eat anything, if it's at a party, it is announced to the party that I'm eating a chocolate chip cookie. That's how dedicated I am. That if I eat a chocolate chip cookie, then everybody's like, what? No way, man. It's almost like they get that reprieve in their minds. They're like, oh, he's human. He's human. He does it too. But that's about it. And I eat one and I can feel it. Anytime I eat sugars, like I let them in, it gives me like a crazy pump. And then I'm depressed. I'm like, ooh. And then my stomach starts to hurt and you can start to feel. And that's just from a little bit of sugar. You guys eat how much sugar? How much sugar do you drink? You know, you guys, and you're going through that every day. Your body's getting used to it. And so you have these highs, you have these lows, you have these moments of sickness, you have all these things that are happening to you because of that food you're eating or that alcohol you're drinking. You want to understand? It's like pouring like nitric oxide in your car's engine. You know, it's going to make you fast for a second, but it's bad for your engine. If anybody that knows about cars, that's bad for your engine. It fires it. All these things are doing that it's not used to, and then that makes it not last as long. So you guys got to cut that stuff out. I know it's intimidating or it's hard to stick to a diet, right? But you're worth it. You know what I mean? That's all I can tell you is that it feels amazing. I go hiking on the weekends. Like I work 10-hour days at work, but I still have energy at the end of the day to spend some time with my family, kind of go grocery shopping, do all that stuff. Back in the day, no way. I get done with the 10-hour day, I'm crashed. I got nothing. I'm sitting on that couch, I'm falling asleep or I'm eating all that junk food and candy and stuff back in the day. And what kind of life is that? That's misery. That's big gut. That's being overweight, having sore knees all the time from the inflammation because you're eating sugar. You just gotta change like what's important to you. What is important to you? You know what I mean? Like what's important to you is that social with the food and all that stuff. Like when you go to a family dinner and I have my wife's family, they're all Italian and all that stuff. So their dinners are fucking pastas and breads and all that stuff. And they're Italian, like real Italians. They get super mad at me for not eating what they have. But at first they did. Now they just accept it at this point. And everybody caters to you a little bit. They'll make some side stuff, know that they don't put the sauces and the pastas and stuff like that. They do that for you. And I used to get like super mad. I'm like, you don't need to do stuff for me. But now I realize, hey, that's just people. That's their support. That's their way of saying, hey, man, we see what you're doing. So, but you get a little defensive when you start to do this dieting thing and this working out thing because you're different than everybody else. Especially everybody in your life. And when you're doing that, you're different, and everybody doesn't know how to handle it. They don't really see you as somebody that's driven. They see you as somebody's crazy. What's this person doing? Oh, what do they call us? Health freaks and all that stuff. I mean, you can call me whatever you want to call me. You can call me happy and smiley and all those things too. Get to work. Get to work. What are you doing all there chatting all the time? This is my rest time. This is my in-betweens. You guys saw these workouts I'm doing. All right. I'm going to throw a little extra weight on here. I'm probably only going to get out a few. I'll probably get like 5 with the heavy weight. And my heavy is probably like 3/4, 80% of my heavy. I'll go about that. But I'll do like 5, and then I'll take some weights off, and then I'll finish it out with the burn. Ooh. All right, here we go. Yeah, baby. Oh. Oh, you didn't even get to see me doing all my crazy, my bad. Camera angle. See, that's what I think. You guys start following me, start making a couple bucks on here, I can hire a dude to do this. Although it'll be a little weird me doing all these conversations while he's holding this in his hand. He's done it before for me. He's come in and filmed my workouts before I start doing the lives. He's my boy. Yeah. And he's on disability and stuff, and so he could probably use a couple extra bucks. If you're wondering how old I am, I'm 52. I get that question at least once every morning. I'm at Fit 52. Somebody asked me, what are you gonna do when you turn 53? I just said, the fact that you asked me that question is pretty funny. And nobody ever would care, right? I know it looks like I'm going kind of fast, but it's under control the whole time. You know, I know my pace. Oh, everything's burning. All right, one last shrugs. Somebody got it. We'll get it. We'll get some dumbbells. I can't even imagine you guys in a busy gym. There's like 15 people in here and they're stealing my machines. Ooh. Oh, like I said, if you're in a hurry, you only got to do the workout in like 30 minutes, 45 minutes or something like that. Just run through those. If it's a busy gym, do each one of those individually. Do 3 sets of, high reps. Moderate weight. Moderate meaning more than half. Like, so at least 60, 70% if you're gonna do it. That's what I mean by moderate of whatever you think your max is. If you're new, I really, really want you to start super, super light so you can really feel the right muscle. Like if you're doing these front ones, 5 pounds is enough. You can just feel, you gotta feel this part of the muscle when you're doing the front raises. And when you're doing the side raises, you gotta feel, see this right here? Boom. And then whenever you're gonna do like reverse, you gotta work this back part right here. And so you hit all 3 angles of the muscle. And when we're doing the heavy weight, that's hitting the solid. It's all your muscle. And then I work in the traps with it, which, you can't really see in this shirt, but traps are huge. Traps are huge. You see those guys with those big ass traps and you're like, man, what do you say, steroids? Steroids is what everybody says. You guys in that word, you need to understand. You need to understand some stuff before you start throwing that shit out there. Ooh. I think I'm gonna throw a little bit light weight on this one and just pump out like 25 of them, get some more blood in this muscle right here. So this is probably like about 40%, 40% of my weight probably. Yeah. If you guys make sure, if you guys make sure that this, if if you're just on here kind of just watching whatever, you should follow me. You should follow me. Go on my page, check out some of my videos. My nephew was working out with me for a while. He just today went back to work. He was 350 pounds. He's down to 300, and sticking to my all natural diet. We don't do a lot of calorie counting or anything like that. We have a goal of 225 grams of protein a day. He never really reaches it. He probably gets about 190, 200. But the fact that is focusing on that protein and eating his proteins first in his meals, it really, really lessens you eating all the garbage when you fill yourself up with the protein. So if I make a meal and I'm going to eat some rice, because it'll be like the night before I have a big workout, I'll eat some rice. But what I'll do is instead of just like full on, mixing the rice and eating out of the rice, is I eat my protein first. I eat my protein first. It fills me up, it keeps you filled up for longer with the protein. But so I fill in at the end, like my vegetables and my rice and all that stuff. I eat that at the end, so I don't overeat all those things. Those are the things that could cause you to gain weight. You can eat all the protein you want, especially if it's just meats and stuff. Sauces you got to stay away from. But if you do that, and if you have a sweet tooth like I did, man, I'll tell you what, I used to eat bags of candy. I just eat a ton of fruit. And sometimes on those days, I eat more than I should, right? I eat a lot of grapes, so I'll eat some apples, I eat bananas, but I overeat fruit. So what happens there is my body tells me that's too much, and you know what happens, right? The body exits it. So when we say, and I hate calling it a diet. You know why I say hate calling it a diet? Because mine's not a diet. You're all that shit you guys eat, that's garbage diet. Mine is just all natural food. It's not a diet. It's how I eat. And once you commit to this, and you're gonna fall off over and over, because that's all gonna call back to you. Those sugars are gonna call back to you. But the question is this: when can you lock in? When do you start making the decision? Because it's here. Because you want to talk about your gut, you want to talk about your muscles, you want to talk all that stuff. You got to make this commitment here first. You got to lock in, and it can't be a diet. It has to be, this is who I am now, right? We can't have an end date. You can't be like, hey, I'm going out of town in 6 months, or I'm going out of town in 3 months, so I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna lose my weight. I'm gonna do this, because you're gonna take like diet pills. You're gonna do all this stuff because you're not doing it for the right reasons. If you start doing it for the right reasons, your health and longevity and like your joints and just being able to bend over and tie your shoes without having to take 2 breaths. I've been there, sitting down. You go down and to tie your shoe. You didn't even make it. You have to go in for 2 breaths on the same shoe. I mean, little things like that is what this is for. It's not about, we're going to work. We got to go to like birthday parties. We got to go, do stuff with our family. We got to go on vacations. We got all those things to do. This is what we're doing it for. We're not doing it to be in a show. You know what I mean? We're not trying to be in a competition. I like, what I do? Because people always ask me all the time if I'm going to be like, oh, are you training for a show? And I said, nah, man, I'm training for life. I'm training so my wife could look at me like she looks at me now. It's intoxicating to see, you take your clothes off and they're like, ooh, can you put your shirt back on, please? I'm trying to eat over here. And now, she gets those eyes. She gets those eyes. She's 49, I'm 52. You guys don't want to imagine that kind of thing, right? We're old. Nobody wants to think about old people and being in love and stuff. But she does fitness. She mixes in. I have a whole gym in my house and stuff. I can't do that. Occasionally I'll get a little workout in there, but I need this. I need the power of the gym. I need the camaraderie. I need all the support system that is in the gym. You guys think of intimidation, but this place right here, what it'll do is it'll keep you on your goals. It'll keep you going, because you're going to run into people, especially if you go at the same time, all the time, same days. You start to run into the same people, and you start holding each other accountable. You start doing that wave across the gym. Never met that person before in your life, but you have that wave, or you have that nod, like you're here again, and we start to keep each other accountable. You start to think, like, you show up, you're like, hey, I wonder if so-and-so's going to be here today, or whatever. And you'll get ready, and you're like, I don't feel like it today. You're like, but I know so-and-so's going to be there. And all of them know I'm going to be here. So this like in their heads, they don't. It doesn't. They can't fathom the fact that I would miss a day. You know how good that feels? That people depend on you. They know you're going to be somewhere because first of all, it starts with you. You have to keep these promises to yourself. And once you start to keep these promises to yourself and you start showing up and you start doing that stuff, that discipline word you guys keep hearing about on the internet, you got Jocko and all those guys, you got David Goggins and talking about rah, 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 right? They're extreme examples. I mean, maybe I'm an extreme example, but my example is this. They do this for a living, right? That's their life. This is what they're doing. My living is I make a living. I have to, I go to work, I do all this stuff just like you, but I mix this in. And when I mix this part in, it changed my life. It changed my perspective at work. I work harder at work. I put more effort into more things because of this self-belief that you get from showing up to the gym. I do a lot of videos. I do them from my refrigerator. If you follow me, what we got here? We got flies, bands, ropes. So I do a lot of cables. I don't have bands. I know what you're talking about with that. Same difference. Just different the bands. But I do a lot of for chest. I do a lot of flies. For even when I haven't finished my shoulder workout, but I'll do some, and I'll do these, and that'll work across my back, my rear delts, and my traps. Let's get back to work. So what we got here? So my boys in here, and then my usuals. Whoever keeps inviting me to co-host. I have to do that one of these times. I would love to interview one of you guys about. So you got to understand when you have a conversation with me, it's basically an interview. I'll ask you pretty much anything about yourself because I'm interested. I love to meet new people. I love to learn new things. And what that does for me, it opens up my mind and opens up my reality that, that person has problems. Anytime like you're in traffic, this is what I've been practicing for myself because I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to be more positive. If you watch me, pretty positive, right? But there's times in my day where I had a bad conversation with somebody, because I deal with a lot of people that complain, or I got different things that happen in my life, and I always try to find myself back into the positive, even when there's times of struggle. But I try to find myself back into the positive part of it. And when I'm in traffic, it's a perfect way to practice. When people are always cutting you off, and they're doing this or driving too slow or they're turning too slow. And back in the day, I would, like, what is this person hindering my day? But when I started to know people and whatever, and I started to realize I'm just another dude in traffic. They don't know who I am. You know what I mean? Like that's what we got here. You're just earned a follow. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for following me, man. That's important to me. It really is important to me. Every single one of you guys. It's important that I can help you guys out in any way, shape, or form. I don't know how I do it. I don't know the inspiration. Like I said, I'm not no professional speaker. I'm not a coach. Although most people would think in their lives that's kind of the friend I am. I'm the coach friend. I'm the friend that's definitely going to call you out on your shit. Kindness doesn't mean that you don't say what's real. Ditto this guy. Appreciate you. Thank you guys. You know what? Yeah, hey, I gotta tell you guys, this the only way to earn money on here, like I said, I got a couple videos like 30,000 views or 20,000 views. But the only time I make any money is like every morning when I do this, I make like 2 cents. I make 3 cents, 4 cents. I guess if you guys give me those little coins, it gives me a little bit of money. One day I got this guy with the cowboy hat and a mustache, and that means I earned my first dollar. A whole dollar, guys. I appreciate you. I mean, it's a dollar. I can't get mad at that. All right, get back to work, right? Let's get back to work. Let's see what we got going here. All right, we're gonna do some side raises. We're gonna do some machine. I'm gonna use a machine instead of dumbbells right here. It's like a finishing exercise. You use a little heavier weight when you do the machines because it does the form for you. Ooh, all right, we're gonna do this is gonna be for our rear delts and our. You can't. We gotta be able to see this thing. All right, yeah, you can see. So this machine's also a fly machine. You can do them out in front of you. But if you turn around and you face it, see these things right here? You got this little right here. You go all the way in like this. I like to put this seat super low, so it's like right, like almost eye level, and you just, oh yeah, to that stretch right there. It's very important to work the right muscle, feel the right muscle. That's why you got to use lower weight at the beginning so you can feel you're working the right muscle, and you can start to go up in weight when you start to feel like you have control and you're hitting the right muscle. But once you start to hit, you get a little heavy and you start to feel it hitting other places, I want you to stay at the weight that you can keep control until it gets stronger that way. Ah, 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 ah. And if you're new on here, most of the people here, I don't think are even here for my workouts. You get to see a little idea of my workouts, but it's more the rants in between. Ooh. So I did that one real fast, and I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go do a similar exercise to that with some cables. Uh, uh, uh. Like I said, the other exercises, if you're not advanced, just finish off my first part of this workout. The rest of this is for me because I'm a crazy person. But you can also do these 3 exercises separately on a different day. I've already kind of did these exercises, just it's a little different with cables or machine. Whew. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Good. How you doing? Yeah, that's good. You're in the right place for it. That's right. So this one's not about heavy weight. Again, this is just about working that muscle. So I'm not using a lot of heavy weight. This one without any handles. Just grab a hold of the base of these things right here, and I'm gonna. I mean, what does it hurt? You wake up in the morning with a guy that's positive. Get your day started right. Get a little workout in. Get a little positivity. See that you can be positive out in this world. It's up to you. You get to decide how you take things. You get to decide how you react to things. I run into hate and sadness all the time, but I just I try to help them out. I try to listen. It's not about me. Ooh, where my machines and where my bag. Got me walking all randomly around the gym right now. I love the smile. Oh, it's been an hour. I gotta do this puzzle piece. Oops, I missed it. There we go. So I guess when you hit an hour, they gotta make sure you're still on there. You ain't trying to get those live times. I guess you get some kind of bonus for being on here a long time. Here, I got a minute. Anybody got any questions for me? If not, I guess if you ask a question and I didn't see it, I see a lot of people repeat the same question over and over again. I'm old. Seeing on this little tiny screen, it's not the easiest thing to do. I'm squinting. You guys need me looking like this? No questions? Everybody's good? I know it takes a while for that shit to get on there. Welcome everybody. I appreciate you coming on. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy that there's people that that watch me work out in the morning. It's This is crazy, guys. It's super crazy to do this kind of thing. Walk around with a camera in the gym that everybody's used to at this point. I think at one point they're all going to start standing behind this camera and start listening to my rants. These are positive rants. They're positive. I'm just encouraging you to understand is that you're important enough to do this. This is worth it. It's worth it. I know it looks like a lot of work and showing up, and that diet thing's gonna throw you off. Drinking those energy drinks. You know what? Somebody asked me the other day. They're like, "Wait, so what do you drink?" I drink water. Yeah, end of list. End of list. I drink water. That's all I do. I drink water, 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 water. In every situation, I drink water. And And that's definitely changed everything. Stay away from that soda. The Gatorade's terrible for you. All of those things that you think they're healthy because they say on the side of them they're for this or that. They're bad for you. They got sugar. Sugar's bad for you. Think of sugar as crack. Yeah, because you're addicted to it. You know you are. It's just somewhere somebody told you it's okay to be addicted to that one, so we're all fine with it. But it's the same thing. I talk to people that going through recovery. Drug addicts. I talk to ex-prisoners like these ladies that I really follow. It's a convicted comeback. I got to tell you, man, that's a great little thing. This girl that was in prison, women's prison, and she got out and she went back and she started teaching fitness in those prisons. And because she went back, when you get out of prison, you think that's a place you want to go back to. You think there's good memories back there, or so what she did is she lifted herself up. She got better in life, and when she did that, she decided, I'm going to take care of these people. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to abandon these people. She got out front, and instead of just keep walking and making herself better, she turned around and she reached back and she's trying to help those people get where she's at. I commend the shit out of that. I mean, I appreciate people to help other people. That's something I encourage that daily. And if I see somebody doing something like that, I'll tell you what, I'll be the first one to compliment you and tell you you're awesome. And, I'll be your rah-rah. We need more of that in this world. And the people, we need to support the people that are doing that. And that's at least, that's my goal. My goal, if I get big enough with this thing right here, and I don't have any expectations of anything, but if I do, it's going to be, I'm going to push everybody up that I can push up. I'm not that guy that climbs to the top and laughs at you at the bottom. I'm that guy that throws down the rope, and I'll help you. I'll bring you up with me. So all of us need to feel this way. All of us need to know what it feels like to be at the top of that mountain. You know, all of us need, but the thing is, you have to earn your way there. Because if you're just there, if you get there, you don't appreciate the climb. You don't appreciate that hard step every day. That work. You don't appreciate it if you don't work hard. That's what the people don't understand. When you take that easy way out, and you take those shortcuts, and you do all that stuff, take those diet pills or whatever, or the Ozempic. I know some of you guys need that stuff, but there's a lot of side effects to that. And like I said, you don't get that satisfaction that you did it with your will. You did it with your will. It's not something that's stopping something in your brain or stopping being hungry. It makes you sick if you eat. It's that your mind is stronger. You know what I mean? When you're alone with the food, when you're alone with all those things, when nobody else is watching, because at this point, this is just you holding yourself accountable. And in those moments, that's where you build the strength. That's where you build that discipline, is when you make that decision to grab that apple instead of that candy bar. You decide to eat that protein instead of eating that shitty pasta and all that other stuff that goes with it. It's all about you. It's about your mindset. It's about how important you think you are when it comes to this fitness and working out. And, I always tell you, man, this is you. We only get one car to drive for the rest of our lives. So are you going to drive a beater? You're going to drive one that goes in the shop all the time. You're going to, you know what I mean? Like, you have medicine and you got to get all this. You got to get oil change every other week instead of, every 4 months, or every 5 months. It's up to you. It's up to you to decide if I'm going to, give these pharmaceutical companies all this money, because they don't fucking fix you. They treat you. They treat you. I have high protein diet, but what's your take on protein needed? So protein needed. So if you want to be, so if you're overweight, let's say you're 300 pounds and you want to be 215 pounds, that's your goal. I want you to eat 215 grams of protein every day. And I want that to be your main goal, like your whole focus for the whole day. It's hard to get to, guys. You know what I mean? Like remember 50 grams. I eat 60 grams of protein for breakfast. That's 6 eggs. That's 8 pieces of bacon, and I eat some avocado every morning. That's 60 grams of protein, and I eat that every morning. That's how I start out my day. That's my first win of the day besides the gym. But so then I got 60. I'm trying to get to 225 in a day because I'm 200 pounds, 205. I'm not trying to get anyway. I'm right where I want to be. But I get the 225 grams of protein because the more, the better. The more, 1.5 times is what you really need. So like if you're 150 pounds, you want to do 225 pounds. That's optimal if you're getting muscle, you want big muscle gains and stuff like that. But if you're a lady and you want to be 120 pounds, eat 120 grams of protein a day. Yeah, I know that is crazy. Ladies like, what? Yeah, that's important. And when you do that, that makes your body, your composition change. Even if your weight is not going to change too much at the beginning, it's going to change the way your body feels, the way your shirt fits, the way your pants fit. Because muscle, even though it weighs, it's dense. It's dense. Like so, like a pound. This is a pound of fat, and this is a pound of muscle, right? Like so, this is the difference in the two things. And so understand this weighs more. It weighs more because it's more dense. So when you look at the scale, with the scale's not your friend, you look at the scale, it's not changing. But you're like, well, I feel better. And that's the gauge. The scale will deter you all the time. Especially when we start to hit those plateaus and you're like, I don't know what's happening. So you got to stay away from the scale. The scale is not your friend. It doesn't tell you the whole truth. It doesn't tell you about the body composition. It doesn't tell you about this part of your body's getting a little bit smaller, but it's getting tighter, it's getting more muscle. So the scale is bad. But high protein diet, like I said, the best, like I said, more is better. But if you have a number that you want to reach, eat that many grams of protein a day. And that will build up it'll make you retain muscle, build muscle, and you'll lose the fat. It'll start to melt off. I'll tell you, when I started doing this diet, I've never seen the bottom part. I have skin, I have some extra skin, but I've never seen the bottom part of this right here, and it started to melt off of me. And I wasn't losing weight at the time when I got to the point where the body fat started doing, but I'm still working hard. I'm still eating the same diet and all that. I don't really do the calories, but my natural burning. So when my body, I don't do anything for the day. I did one of those body scans, and it tells me I burn about 2,300 calories a day. That's me doing nothing. Like my status quo in a day, if I eat 2,300 grams if I eat 2,300 calories that day, and I don't do anything, which is impossible, right? And I don't do anything, then that's my baseline. I gain 0 weight that day. You understand? I got nothing going on. But since I do this working out and stuff, I figure I probably burn close to 4,000 calories a day, and maybe a little less. You'd be surprised how much work you got to do to burn 1,000 calories. But so that's kind of like my baseline, and I try to stay under that. I don't count my calories for my meals and all that stuff, but I do kind of keep an eyeball in my head of like, okay, this one's like 1,000 calories, this one's 600 calories, this is that. So I kind of in my head that if I think that I haven't eaten a lot of calories that day, then maybe my last meal of the day will be a little higher in calories or something like that. But if, otherwise, like if I'm to a certain point in the day and I've already just killed it on protein that day, later that night, I'll just eat some fruits, or I'll eat something light, vegetables and stuff like that. So, but protein, that's the main thing. And if you're having a problem quitting sugar, if you're having problems with your diet, quitting sugar I really highly recommend. It's hard, but I highly recommend doing the carnivore diet for 30 days. Through 30 days, it's difficult, but what it's going to do is it's going to help you with those sugar cravings. After you get to a certain point, it kind of goes away. Like I don't really have the sugar cravings anymore. Like I said, we talked about earlier with the cookie, but I don't. And I used to have a lot of sugar cravings. I was a big candy guy. I love that stuff. I eat ice cream and all the sweets that you can think of. Now my sweets are apples and oranges. I love grapes, green grapes. I don't know how they sell them year round, but they're pretty good right now. I go to Sprouts, super expensive. But the one thing you gotta measure what's expensive. Like hospital bills are expensive, right? Doctor bills and medications, that's expensive. I'd rather pay for a healthy food that gets me ahead than something that I have to take to save my life or to keep me going. All right, here we go. That was a long rest right there. Ah, keep everything under control. Ah, 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 ah. Woo. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I was really killing time. What's up, my friend? How you doing? Ooh. I got long arms. I got long arms, so I pull the seat up because it's supposed to be at the base, like right here where my elbow is. Ah, yeah. Ooh. Morning. What's up, brother? You watching my videos and my Good Morning Sunshine. He's another sauna guy. I talk to them all the time in the sauna. He's been interviewed quite a few times. And then he found out that I do videos, so he asked about it. So now he tells me Good Morning Sunshine every morning. I started this 430 days ago. And probably about day 130 or something around there, I started making these videos. I just woke up one morning and I was like, you know what? I feel amazing. How do I share this with the world? How do I help other people get to where I'm at? Because that's the kind of guy I am. You know, if I experience something good, I want to share it with the world. I want everybody else to feel the way I feel. And this fitness thing is a big deal. You know, I do the learning. I do books on tapes. I study a lot of psychology. Um, so a lot of like communication. Listen to books on tape every day. That's part of my growth of this working out stuff. It didn't start that way, not from the beginning. But as I started to grow with this working out and dieting and stuff like that, it started making me feel better about myself, and I wanted to improve myself in other ways. You know, I wanted to make myself smarter. I wanted to be a contributor to this world. I wanted to make my mark, and I didn't know how. I didn't know how. But so we got this internet thing now, and that's how I'm going to make my impact. To make my impact is because one of you. You know, it's not going to be all of you. You know, a lot of you think I'm like a crazy weirdo or whatever, and this guy's, this or this guy's that. He's extreme. But maybe I am extreme. But just imagine trying to do this and maybe not reaching this goal, but trying is it's better than, not starting at all, not taking that first step. You know, it's very important that you treat yourself right and you start to show yourself that you're important because you can't do all those things. You can't go to work. You can't help out your friends. You can't do all those things unless this right here is healthy. You know, you got to take care of yourself. It's not being selfish, to put the mask on. You know, you're in the plane, you put the mask on first, and then you help everybody else. And you have to take care of this thing. It's so important. And I don't know why I got to convince you that you're important. I don't know why I got to convince you that your health is important. It's Jaime. Jaime. I'm getting back used to it. I've been calling him Javi for months, and he didn't correct me. This son of a bitch. You gonna change your name to Javi? It flows. It flows easy. It's easier for me to say. You all right with it if I still call you that? You all right with it? But I mean, I don't know. I mean, you okay with it? Ah. It's your nickname. It's your nickname. Javi's your nickname. I love that dude. I love that dude. It's like I said, I only know him from here. I've never seen him anywhere else. But I like to be his support. Sometimes he needs it. and I don't mind. I don't mind filling in. That's 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 my goal in life is to, you know what, and brighten the day up of almost everybody that meets me. That's kind of how like that's my goal every day, every morning. I do, and I'm not trying to say that I don't have bad days and I don't have bad moments. But what I'm trying to tell you is when I do have those moments, I catch a hold of them. I understand I'm going through them. I feel the feelings I need to feel. I try to understand the feelings that I need to feel. And then I move on with my day. I put that smile back on my face. I start thinking about the things I'm grateful for. I think about, instead of always focusing on my problems, I focus on the good things. I focus on the things that make me smile. I focus on, the people in my life or the stories or the things like that. What happened? But for the Raiders, Harbaugh, yeah, I mean, Harbaugh for the Raiders would have been the shit, dude. Maybe you guys get Tomlin. He went from the Raiders. He goes from the. Why are you a Raiders fan, by the way? Like what? Just cause you like to suffer? Hey, I'm a Cowboys fan. That's suffering because they give you a glimpse. Some grumpers over there. Ah, if you can be the light. There's a lot of darkness in this world. There's nothing wrong with being the light, even if it is for strangers. Sometimes, with me, you're about a stranger for about 2 seconds. Ah, 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 ah. So what I got? I got 2 coins. I got two coins this whole time. You guys, you guys like this stuff? You guys are all right with me doing this every morning, doing these rants? If you're tuning in for that shit, all right. This is what I'm gonna call it a day, guys. I appreciate you guys coming along. Thanks for listening to my rants. I got one more set, and I probably could do some abs and stuff. You already saw my abs the other day. I'll mix it in every once in a while and stuff. But at the end, I like to listen to some music and really grind it out, get that sweat on. But I really appreciate you guys. I really do. Thank you for showing up. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back. Smile today. Smile today. Make a stranger smile today. That's your goal. Your goal is today is, if you're walking in the store, if you see somebody, some people that head down, stuff like that. I like to point out their shoes or, obviously it's something that I definitely appreciate about that person. Something I like to, when I see a person, I try to find the thing that, envy isn't the right word, but the thing that I appreciate the most about that person. There's something about that person that I see that is good in them, or something that I can see that they appreciate about themselves. I like to point those things out. I like to let people understand is they're important. Hey, smile, love it. I don't know how to do nothing but smile, guys. That's why I got these laugh lines. It's worth it for me. There are wrinkles in my face, but they're smiles. They're smiles, and see my face. See how it's just normally a smile all the time. Have a wonderful day, guys. I really, really, really do appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. I appreciate you. You understand that?